Welcome to episode 1 of the Masterful Data Podcast, where over the course of the next 4 episodes, our guest, who has very deep experience with financial transformation and reporting excellence, will provide practical insights to our listeners on how they can retool and renovate their careers in finance. The takeaways are going to be focused on a practical path to identify specific opportunities to 1. Protect yourself from being fired because of changes in the data that is fed to you from other systems in terms of everyday changes in hierarchies and accounts. 2. Position yourself for promotion by easily becoming far more attracted to headhunters who seek great people. Changing jobs is a lot easier when you have the right skills to make the change, and it's quite common to get about a 30% increase by changing companies alone. I know this to be true because over the last 23 years, I've helped hundreds of people get those kinds of increases in their compensation. So your key goal here is not to look like the 99% of the other people with your job title on LinkedIn. You have to look different, you have to look better, but getting that better and different requires no extra college, no expensive courses, just a matter of putting the tools you have available and those tools that are available for free to work in a wee little bit of ambition, and you can get there. 3, we're going to crush both the myth and escape the brainwashing that subjugated you for far too many years into thinking that you cannot make decisions. It doesn't matter if you're 3 years into your career or 30 years into your career. All you need is a drop of courage, and then every day take small, disciplined, and consistent steps to better yourself. You must start this journey in self-improvement anyway, because there's no opportunity to even retreat anymore. Otherwise, you're going to be eliminated. It's that simple. After decades of corporate betrayal and holding on to any false beliefs that your company is somehow going to take care of you, it's time to reshape yourself. You must take that action for no other reason than to avoid being outsourced. Outsourcing and not adopting the new software products right now is by far the most dangerous thing you can do in terms of trying to stay employed. You must not just embrace but seek out new technology if you wish to stay employed, because the old days of the tech team providing tools is over. It's up to you, and you have the control. We will help you convert that fear and self-loathing into action that'll help you save yourself, because no one's coming to help you. 4, we're going to call out the unseen menace of dirty data and how it forces talented people to become data janitors. Then get trapped so they cannot ever grow their skills to get better pay, better promotions, or better jobs because they're stuck in a cycle of reconciling hierarchies, accounts, and dimensions with spreadsheets, emails, and phone calls before they even get to start doing their real job. 5, we're going to address the everyday dangers like the consequences of summary reporting that doesn't reconcile with the corresponding detailed department cost center reporting data. Why that happens, and why your reporting software is probably not to blame. The real villain to the why your reporting is not consistently correct is likely that neither the vendor who sold you the software nor your own technical team told you about the dangerous gaps in so-called integrated systems. These gaps wreck reputations, wreck careers, and force finance people to work an average of an extra 16 hours a week every week on a task that's not in their job but can easily get them fired. Finally, recognizing that it's normal to experience boredom, despair, and depression throughout your career, and seeing that there are currently free tools that can help fix a lot of your problems if you take the lead. It's also very natural as you take those first steps, you're going to find yourself to be very angry because you're going to realize you've been brainwashed and managed by fear for far too long. We'll share with you the insights that will help you get on the path to convert that anger into action so you can take control and stop letting others abuse you. So let's get to it. My name is Jim Burke. I'm your host. I'm here with Mr. Dean Curtin of Curtin Advisory. Dean and his team have decades of global experience driving finance process automation that is practical, affordable, and pays for itself because business issues only matter if they can be monetized, and fixing them comes with a good ROI. Dean got his experience at respected companies like PwC and IBM. He has led engagements with important tools many listeners know, like Oracle EPM, formerly Hyperion, OneStream, Power BI, as well as multiple ERP systems. Today we're talking about data accuracy and accelerated reporting that can protect you from getting outsourced or terminated. You can never be an AI hero and get paid the big bucks if your data sucks. And if you're too shy to advocate for yourself, nothing good's going to happen for you. Everybody knows finance professionals work too many hours for too little money. They almost every day take on too much personal career risk because they are not properly armed with tools to protect themselves. They also make the mistake of pointing misdirected blame at the reporting tools when the actual problem is the unseen menace associated with data. So, Dean, let's get started. In your experience, how often do reporting errors stem from bad data versus issues in the reporting software?
Well, a lot of companies make the investment in reporting. There's great reporting tools out on the market. They provide a lot of efficiency and a lot of insight, a lot of capabilities that an Excel spreadsheet doesn't provide them. And as they grow and become more complex, companies typically start evaluating these vendors and these products on the market. But the thing is, Jim, is these tools aren't going to really come in and fix your data. Particularly, a lot of times, what I see is companies understand they have a problem. They look at a vendor in the market, they look at a solution or a range of solutions before they make a selection, only to find that they want to take their current processes, which are bad, supported by bad data, thinking that the reporting tool is going to solve all their problems is like a magic wand. And that's never the case. So, my position is always as part of doing any kind of finance transformation, looking at new tools and technologies, you got to look at your processes, you got to look at your data. Those are two key elements to having a successful project and being able to leverage a reporting tool to its fullest capabilities in support of your requirements.
So, Dean, what professional consequences have you seen because the detailed data for the operations doesn't reconcile to the summary level data for the people doing the reporting? I had one guy say to me, "You're either at the table or you're on the menu." So I didn't quite understand what he meant by that, but I have a feeling that it ties back to getting into trouble for having inaccurate data.
So you have a lot of these young analysts that are trying to do great. They want really interesting jobs, and then they find that they're in a situation where they have maybe a big brand name company on their resume now, but their day is really kind of hamstrung with very boring tying out data, fixing broken processes. What do they experience? They experience despair, I mean, blame, excuses, probably concern and worry if they're responsible for actually putting something out to a broader constituency that's invested in the company as far as reporting is concerned. And a lot of times, I mean, it depends on the level they're at, the inability to affect change. And then, that's something we can talk about a little bit more too, because anybody can affect change at any level if they follow the right process to do so. But the professional consequences really are manual effort and boredom in your job. You sort of alluded to that a little bit. The risk of errors and how, at a personal level, that brings risk to you in your own profession. And then just uninteresting work, to be honest with you. They're not learning new tools, they're reconciling data through spreadsheets and trying to fix processes where they may not have the ability to affect change. And those are the professional consequences that I see typically.
Let's take a quick break to mention Masterful Data, who is our sponsor for this episode. Masterful Data provides a no excuse path to accurate reporting and analytics you can trust because the software is free regardless of record counts or users. So it's an honest product that will automate the dangerous and janitorial task of reconciling changes in hierarchies, accounts, and dimensions that cause havoc to your quest to provide accurate reporting. On top of making accurate reporting possible, Masterful Data can help you retool and renovate your career while at the same time saving your company millions of dollars per year in labor, as well as protecting your CFO from making bad decisions based on bad data and obsolete processes. Get Masterful Data or go work someplace that already uses Masterful Data so you can protect yourself, stop being a data janitor, and achieve great things. Let's get back to episode 1, where we were discussing the unseen menace of dirty data, which is a daily danger to any reporting professional. Insights that eliminate any false beliefs that anyone has that your company will somehow just absolve you from reporting mistakes. that they then also will magically come to the rescue with software that'll help you do your job. The real villain that attacks your reporting system and causes your reporting to be inconsistent and incorrect. It's not the reporting system, it's the data. Let's get back to it. The other thing I heard a quote from somebody is that it comes out to about 16 hours a week is generally squandered by having a staff person go out and reconcile data, metadata, and hierarchies before you can even do the reporting. So there's an actual cost to this as well because it's a misuse of the labor associated with that work stream. What do you think about that?
I would say that the amount of time is a lot higher. You're probably looking at the time it takes to go into the process, not the time it takes to correct it when it's wrong on the back end either. So I would say the time is really a lot more than 16 hours a week.
Yikes. No wonder so many people quit and go into another line of work. I mean, the drudgery of reconciling data and metadata, you're not even putting your education to use by doing that. It's kind of a clerical task,
Yeah.
right? That's a shame. So then, why would they not have automated this process already with tools that are already on the market?
There's sort of a simple view, right? A lot of times companies grow and they want the next level of an ERP system, EPM system, CX or an HCM system. It depends on what they're doing. They're achieving the next level and they're looking at that next level solutions and support them for the growth trajectory that they're on, right? In a simple view, the vendors are going to pitch that all your data management can happen in application, right? That's a simple view. And that's a view that sells very well. The vendors do it very well. You can manage all the structures you need, but you're constrained to how you're going to use them in our system, right? So there's nothing that really is expansive across multiple systems that they may be, having to integrate in the future to get a corporate level view of enterprise performance, right? So that's a simple view. That's what a lot of vendors sell that don't have the master data management capabilities. In a more complex view, and there's vendors that also offer, and they'll actually pitch that fix your data first and then use all of our solutions on top of it. There's a lot of vendors out there that have that capability too. That's kind of the common view, the best practice view, especially companies that are going to change, acquire new companies, maybe divest some, but they need to really put together the reporting structures and the way they want to see their business in a master data management solution before they start making all these strategic decisions and investments on what are the applications we need to support the business there. I mean, you need to get your data right first.
Yeah, it seems to be foundational that no matter what you go by, the magic wand is not going to work unless the data is squared up. As every company I've ever seen, every demo from normally the ERP vendors, they basically draw their applications and their solutions as the center of the universe, and you're only going to use their tools, right?
Exactly.
But it's been a great discussion so far, but that ends episode 1. But don't worry, we have more episodes. I want to thank Dean Curtin for joining me today. I also want everybody to be able to contact Dean as his skills and experience will both lower risk and cost for any company. Said simply, Dean's experience will help clients avoid expensive mistakes.